Hey CMS, it's Mrs. Weiss with some new arrivals that I want to share with you so you can come in and get some new material. We have some new additions to our favorite sports authors. Here's one by Tim Green called Pinch Hit, obviously, baseball. Here's one with the Derek Jeter series that is called Change Up. So if you've been following, I think this is the second or third one that he has written that is related to sports. And here we have a new edition called The Only Game by Mike Lupica. So it looks like all of these are dealing with baseball. But those are some of our favorite sports authors. So please come in and check those out if you're into them. We have some new additions to our graphic novel collections. Here are volumes 7, 8, and 9 for the Maximum Ride series. And these are all the graphic novel versions. So I've been trying to update those and get all of those in. So if you follow that series, please come in and give those a try. Also, I had some requests for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and this is the graphic novel version. And I know Mrs. Coleman has read this, and those who are really interested in graphic novels are sure to love this one. There are some really awesome illustrations competing with text in this volume. So come in and check that out. A couple of nonfiction biographies to add to our collection. Right now, we're getting ready to head into basketball season, and we have 2 Steph Curry biographies. And I know that some of the grades are reading biographies right now. So come in and give those a look. We have the newest Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I have 2 hardback versions of this. We also had it in the book fair. So if you've been waiting, it is now available for checkout. And we've had a lot of requests, and I really ordered a lot of these for books in the I Survived series. So we have the Hindenburg disaster. We have 5 epic disasters of tsunami, blizzard, tornado, flood, and Titanic. Here's one about the Joplin tornado. So this one is close to home. We have the Nazi invasion. I survived the bombing of Pearl Harbor. I survived the destruction of Pompeii. I survived the San Francisco earthquake, sort of everything. Here's one about the Battle of Gettysburg, the attacks of September 11th, Hurricane Katrina, 2005. It's the year some of you guys were born. The Japanese tsunami of 2011, shark attacks of 1916, and the sinking of the Titanic. So I ordered quite an extensive collection because we've had a lot of requests for the I Survived series. So if you're interested in those historical events with a fiction feel, come and look at those. And then we had several new fiction books, and I wanted just to read a little bit from those. This one is called The Fourth Stall by Chris Rylander. Do you need something? Mac can get it for you. It's what he does. He and his best friend and business manager, Vince, their methods might sometimes run afoul of the law, or at least the school code of conduct. But if you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can pay him, Mac is on your side. His office is located in the East Wing's boys' bathroom, 4th stall from the high window, and business is booming. Or at least it was until this particular Monday, because this Monday is when Mac and Vince find out that the trouble with solving everyone else's problems is there's no one left to solve yours. So that looks like an interesting fiction edition. Here we have another in the Allie Carter series, See How They Run, an Embassy Run novel. So if you've been reading that, so this is going to be mystery and suspense. For the past 3 years, Grace Blakely has been desperate to find out the truth about her mother's murder. She thought it would bring her peace. She thought it would lead her to answers. She thought she could put the past to rest. But the truth has only made her a target. And the only way to put the past to rest is for Grace to kill it once and for all. So there, if you like mystery suspense and the Allie Carter novels, there's another one. This one is called Chasing Secrets, a Deadly Surprise in a City of Lies. And this is by the same author as Al Capone does my shirts. So it's in 1900. The newspapers, Lizzie Kennedy's powerful uncle and her beloved papa, a physician, all deny that the plague has reached San Francisco. So why is the heart of the city under quarantine? Why are angry mobs trying to burn China down to the ground? And why is 12-year-old Noah, the Chinese cook's son, suddenly making Lizzie question everything she's always known to be true? So, kind of historical fiction there. And then this one looks fun, A Handful of Stars. One afternoon, Lily's blind dog, Lucky, takes off across the blueberry barrens. Before he can run into the road, a girl lures him back with a peanut butter sandwich, and that's how Lily meets Selma Santiago. So this is about migrant families working in the blueberry fields, but with fiction. So you're learning a little bit about everything. This book is called Promise, and it's a pretty big book, but I think that it sounds interesting. Until a letter arrives from the State Correctional Center, 11-year-old Caden has managed to stay under the radar for most of his life. With the exception of Kubla, a pet crow, Caden doesn't have any friends his own age, and he's okay with that. After all, friends can ask inconvenient questions. Questions like, why do you live with your grandmother? And where is your father? Questions Caden doesn't want to answer. Apart from school and a few trips to town, Caden and Graham keep to themselves, living a simple life at their cabins outside the small community of Promise. And of course, he's starting middle school, and he learns that his dad is getting out of prison, whom he's never met. So this looks like a heavy novel with a lot that he's going to learn about himself. And then we have this book called Audacity. We've had a lot of students interested lately in books in verse, and this is a book completely written in verse, and it's a historical figure who should be remembered. It's about a fascinating historical figure. It's about a girl, a Russian Jewish immigrant, and she lives in New York City's Lower East Side at the turn of the 20th century, and she works in a garment factory to support her family. So she starts to see all the substandard working conditions, and that's where the story takes off. So this is a book written in verse with some historical flair to it. So we have lots of other new books that I didn't even go over out on the New Arrivals shelf. So if you are interested in checking these out, come on and hit us up, and we will have more new books soon.